Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube, and we'd love for you to join us. Come on over and hang out with us. Every Monday through Friday, we stream right around like 10:30 a.m.
Yeah.
till like 3 p.m. So come on over. Come hang out with us. We got great people in the chat room just hanging out. You know, just a couple of blue-collar guys firing up the microphones to tell you some stories.
Good thing about technology nowadays is...
Are we blue-collar? I don't think we are.
Yeah. Well, what is actual... ask ChatGPT what...
It's blurred now.
What is technically
No, we're
a
definitely
blue-collar
not.
job.
We're on the tech side of things.
Yeah. This is, doesn't involve any sort of manual labor.
No.
So
This
that's
is a
what-
soft
yeah.
room. This is a very soft room.
But there are some blue-collar jobs.
I'm rescinding my statement. I'm rolling it back.
There are some blue-collar jobs, I feel, that don't involve manual labor, right? I don't know. So
No one knows. No one knows. No one knows.
Yeah, like I wonder what the technical definition of blue-collar or white-collar job is.
I asked ChatGPT, and it says that we are as white as can be. There you go.
Yeah. And blue-collar, it means that
It's a real job.
manual labor.
Yeah, I think so.
Of some sort.
Yeah, and there's no manual, and there's less every day when I come in here.
Are there any white-collar jobs that are more manual labor technically than some blue-collar jobs? Like, I'm sure there's one blue-collar job that falls in the category of blue-collar, but really there's no actual manual labor. And then on the opposite, there's a white-collar job that is technically more manual labor than this blue-collar.
Variations within. Like, I have friends that own, dirty down and dirty construction company type stuff, but they're in a position where they're the white collar person on that team, you know? Like they don't do anything. They're driving around and making sure that people are, up on the roof firing the mops down.
They're doing paperwork in their truck.
The jerky boys.
Yeah, my buddy the Grizz.
Is that a white collar, blue collar job? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like all he does is drive from one site to the to another site and does paperwork in a Chevy Silverado.
Yeah, like a contractor is I would say that's pretty blue collar. You can be both, right? You can be like rich contractor. You're sitting in your King Ranch. You got your cowboy hat on the dash. You're eating a Krispy Kreme donut.
But does it migrate? Then that is a white collar.
That's a white collar job.
Is supervisor.
Yeah,
I guess construction supervisor, white collar job in a blue collar industry.
In a blue collar world.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're just white collar guys in a blue collar world.
So the Pro Bowl was this weekend.
Well, let's talk about it.
And a lot of I know J.J. Watt kind of came out with.
He came out.
Well,
I didn't know he was gay.
So he's talking a little bit of ass against the Pro Bowl with old McAfee, and that made the rounds. Just saying that it's no longer what it was, which of course it is. No longer what it once was, and the prestige it had, and like making the Pro Bowl used to be actually well,
people are saying this about everything. The Grammys too. You can tie that right in. Everybody's saying that these type of what are they? Earmarkers? Flags.
Guess what? Everything's different.
Accommodations.
Nothing is as good as it once was.
That's a really dumb old man thing for JJ to say, right?
No, I think it just made the round. Like he's saying something obviously that everybody believes, but it just made the rounds because look at he's throwing shade at the Pro Bowl. It's like everybody knows.
We all the Dennis's watched it. We fired it up in the we put it on the TV.
The problem is that we all look at this Pro Bowl and I think everybody's saying the same thing. Like let's look at the punt competition, right? I happened to catch that.
Yeah, where they have the players punt first,
and they basically were punting into
trash cans with pool noodles on the top.
Like yeah, long tubes.
I really didn't want to make fun of that, but they could have spent a little more money on the it was pool
fire
noodles.
Extinguishers would go off every time they hit it. But
it's basically the setup that you and I made for Orlando City every time a goal was scored. Back in the early 2000s.
So And I realized, like, we're all looking at this, and they're not punting that far. Like, they must have set up like 30 yards from the.
It was like the size of a normal Buffalo Wild Wings.
And I would imagine that a lot of people, even the other players that are not even punters, could probably kick that far, no problem, right? And the reason
they're just around footballs all the time.
And these punters could kick 3 times this distance easily, right? And that's what we want to see. Like, we all look at this and like, I don't care that they're kicking 30 yards into, and most of them not that accurate and around this distance because they're not.
Well, it's not something they typically do.
Yes, yeah,
right?
yeah. They're more accurate with longer, realistic punts, game time punts, right?
Yeah.
You're kicking 50 yards, but you're trying to keep it in the,
so you just,
out of the end zone.
So
or
you're
whatever.
saying that to get your attention, you want like some feats of strength.
But they can't do that because they'll hurt themselves by accident.
Well, we tried to do this with Orlando City.
No, I know.
Do you
yeah,
remember?
Yeah.
Like we wanted,
how hard could you kick the ball?
Yeah, how hard can you kick a ball? And I know we've said this
And
before, but we got yelled. I literally got yelled at by. He's not
Yeah.
on those training staff anymore. The training staff yelled at me because they're like, "What are you trying to do? Hurt our players?"
Yeah, because if a player's really trying to kick the ball as hard as they can and test like how fast they can kick the ball, they have the opportunity to pull something or tweak something in a super hard kick. And they're competitive, obviously. Their nature is competitive, so they may try harder than they should have and hurt themselves,
that.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to prevent at the Pro Bowl, any of these players hurting themselves. So they dumb down the games, but then it's like, what are we then showing? I know, it's a paradox.
I get what you're saying. See, what I will say is that we got some people in the chat room that were there, and then I know some people, Andrea and I know some people that went, and they say it's just, you got to go. They're like, you're dumb if you don't go. It's in Orlando.
Yes.
We live in Orlando. We're Orlandoans. And for not going, like this chat room right here, Pro Bowl was a lot of fun. Sat near the end zone. We saw the tug of war and the punt competition perfectly. Yeah, I should have gone.
So this is where it differentiates for us because all of us locally should have gone because it's better in person than it is on TV.
Yeah, everybody was saying it's awesome in person.
And it's right in our backyard. So I'm bitching about what everybody else saw was bitching about. Is like, on TV it's not that good. But if person,
we win, I bet it was rad.
Yeah. Because I think my kids would have liked it. There's so much money around it that it's going to be good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the argument is that we around here should go see it in person because it's way better than on TV.
We should have gone. It looked cool. I understand your gripes with it, but from my perspective of watching, like some of the players that I wanted to see, like Bijan was there. It would have been nice to see him again.
Yeah, they're celebrities.
Yeah, they are. And the energy's cool around it. Ken Miller, did you see friend of the show, Ken Miller, local comedian? He got asked and booked to do some private comedy at like some of these houses that the players are renting out. So
oh, really?
He went and did, I think he did a private show. He and
we should talk to him. I love private shows.
Yeah, we should reach out to him and see. But I don't think it was anybody like amazing, but it doesn't have to be. This guy's got tons of dough.
Well, also a ton, and I was just talking to Daniel this morning. We next year we should apply for media passes and stuff because there's so many ancillary former players that travel to this and are like trying to get into media now more than ever because there's so many opportunities to do your own podcast and do your own media that I bet you there's more former players trying to do media than ever before, ever. Especially with like the Kelsey's gigantic podcasting
you got
deal.
Old guys that got fired still trying to do it too. Every time I open my YouTube, old Gruden's got 9 more videos he put out independently. I'm like, damn, it's never been harder to do that job. Because everybody's doing it. Even guys that got fired are like, well, fine, I'll just do it on my own independently and get millions of followers.
Yeah. And Gruden hooked up with Barstool. And, he just, making money for doing that.
Well, you started it just doing it on your YouTube independently.
So another thing that happened yesterday was the Grammys. And also...
I did not want to watch. I told myself I'm not going to watch it.
And obviously it's not what it used to be. And it's held... I feel like, on a different level than it used to be. And Grammy Award winner used to mean something more than it does now.
I just don't even know where we stand anymore. Like, remember, even a couple of years ago, you had people like Drake or The Weeknd boycotting the Grammys. Last night, The Weeknd was the surprise performer at the Grammys.
Because a new album came out.
So where do you stand? Do you hate it? Do you love? I love The Weeknd, but like I don't like that. If you hated the Grammys, you're gonna pop up there and look, there he is. He's at it again. I don't know, man.
Listen, I know The Weeknd is beloved by certain people, but Crystal we were driving over to the beach this weekend.
It wasn't his strongest performance.
And Crystal said, The Weeknd has a new album. I'm like, oh, okay. And she's played it. All the songs sound the same, basically.
Yeah.
To me, they sound a lot alike, and there's nothing that really stands out. I don't know. When I was listening to it, I was like, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I was like, it wasn't like, whoa, this is really good.
I'll take some heat off of you for people that might be wanting to give heat. The Beyonce album that won for Country Album of the Year should not have won. Not because it was Beyonce, but just it wasn't a good country album.
Yeah, you told me that.
I said it. I'll say it again. And it shouldn't have won Album of the Year, not because of Beyonce. It's just not a good album. Her version of Jolene is the absolute worst version of Jolene I've ever heard. People should not cover Jolene. It's an impossible song to cover. Don't do it. You can't top it. And then she tried, and it's straight garbage. And when you win in a weird category that you weren't even nominated for a CMA, but you win Country Album of the Year for the Grammys, then we got to get rid of all the award shows because none of them are right. It's all crap. We knew this, right? We all knew this. So if it doesn't mean anything, then it just doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah. But I guess it still makes news. People still, whatever. But it's not. It's definitely not what it was. And I think people take it with a grain of salt now. So speaking of the Grammys, Kanye West's wife shows up nude.
So she wins. She got my Grammy.
So she showed up with basically just a see-through
cellophane,
stocking that. It just, you see her everything, and
it was great. I mean, I feel like, and then apparently Kanye, he showed up, and then they walked the red carpet, and he showed off his wife, and he's dressed like he's a little he's fudgy now.
Yes,
and he's been fudgy for a minute.
Yeah.
And he doesn't wear anything that's flattering for a fudgeman.
Yeah,
he wears like that boxy military style. Shirts. I don't know if you've noticed this, but all shirts of popular music now, I can't buy because they're shaped like Minecraft squares.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen the
old
box.
man scream for a second. I'm an old man scream for a second. I go to Abercrombie. I want to buy a Def Leppard shirt. It's shaped like a Minecraft square. I want to buy a I found a Coors Light shirt.
They're not form-fitting.
No.
They're square.
Everything is in this new box cut.
All right.
Everything is. I picked up a Coors Light. I was like, Coors Light. I love Coors Light. I get up there, and Macy's like, you can't buy that. I'm like, why can't I buy that? She's like, it's box cut. It's about you can't wear that. Your body, my whole body's a box. If I start wearing box cut, I'll look like a box. And that's what Kanye does. He puts his fudge body in the box shirts, and it's not flattering. Doesn't look good. You got to get something that's cut for your body shape. He doesn't have that. And then he wears military pants, these $20 military pants that he's selling all the kids in the world. He's selling everybody $20 just horrible Chinese garbage. That's what he wears while his wife is nude.
So
I support it.
His wife is doing this for the art of it, right? Obviously, the attention.
I don't
gets
know
on
if
media.
you can even call it. The first couple times I'd say art. Now I don't think you could call it art anymore.
But they are obviously you show up naked, completely nude to the Grammys, and then you do the red carpet and the whole thing. You're going to get the attention. Everybody, you manipulate the media into being a big story. Take some balls,
yeah,
I will say.
And I like the way he did it, too.
Scenario.
You know how he did it. By the way, he did not get kicked out. He was not asked to leave. He was invited.
They knew that this.
Yeah.
I imagine that. I'm sure someone knew that she was showing up naked, right?
Yes.
It wasn't a huge surprise.
Oh, yeah. So he shows up. He walks her, down the aisle, whatever. They show off. They take their photos. And then he gets right back into a car, and they go immediately to the Cheesecake Factory for dinner.
Do you think?
Because he goes there. Apparently, he goes to the Grove Cheesecake Factory. Kanye West and his naked wife go there every night to eat.
the Cheesecake Factory?
I almost said the F word. That's awesome. That is blanking awesome. I know he's nuts. I'm not talking about that. I know he's a crazy person, but the fact that he took his nude wife to the Grammys, walked her around, and then he's like, to the Cheesecake Factory. And then away they went, and then he got there. What's he get? Does he get the spicy penne? The spicy penne is good as hell.
I like how he loves the Cheesecake Factory.
He loves
the
it.
random.
Yeah. What kind of bread? Does he like the brown bread as much as I do? The sweet bread with the butter on it?
Like, you could have any chef cook you anything you want. You're like,
No.
no, Cheesecake
Yeah, I
Factory.
like that. I
It's
like
so
that.
weird.
He goes right to the Cheesecake Factory.
So do you think that because there's at the Grammys around somewhere, because there are people under 18 that show up at the Grammys, right? Are nominated for awards.
Oh, yeah.
Like there are some kids somewhere, right? So if they knew she was showing up nude, right? Do you think they purposefully like make sure there's no kids around, so there's no shots of some like 16-year-old
like boobies, you know,
No, I
or
don't
some
know.
kid with a boner or something. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's just like, you're not allowed to be nude in front of minors, right? It's a crime, right? So
Wait, what?
Yeah, you can't be nude in front of minors.
Oh, I've never heard that.
You can't expose yourself to minors.
I'm sorry. You know what? This is one of the times that my wife would be like, "Why do you do that? Why do you say things like that?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know why I say things like that." Yes, I know that.
So then they don't want the picture of some kid like, whoa, looking at Kanye West's wife nude, and that getting out, because then all of a sudden, like, it just makes the rounds of the internet, and the Grammys look bad. Like, everybody's like, then she kind of looks nefarious, and like almost you like, oh, this lady's nude in front of a kid. Like all that. They don't want any of that. So they purposefully, like, they know exactly where she's going and who she's going to expose herself to, and then they whisk her off.
Yeah.
And it's controlled,
Also,
right?
I feel like Hollywood kids, like, Drew Barrymore was doing drugs and smoking.
yeah.
Like, I feel like they don't care.
They don't care.
I got a picture of
But I'm
Jaden
just saying-
Smith up where he's wearing his,
the castle. On his head.
a $5,000 castle on his head with a Louis Vuitton tuxedo. Oh, I punch him right in the in his damn face. You are dumb. Your dad is dumb. Your mom is dumb. I kind of like the daughter Willow. I kind of like Willow. She looked good. She was like almost naked on the red carpet, but she looked good at least. I mean, and she seems like she's got some talent, but I don't know what Jaden Smith is doing.
So obviously it's just you're doing something absurd so that it gets media. And
No,
then you
this
get
is
attention.
this is to bring attention to how oppressed he feels within his own mind.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Oh, okay,
I'm just trying to think of some
Yeah.
pompous garbage he's gonna say.
I tried.
He's the worst. Jaden Smith and his dad are the worst, right?
This
I
is
hate
not
him so
making
much.
people like them.
I
right?
hate them so much.
They're
And
not
then the Will Smith
relatable.
thing, he's just doing his thing, man.
Yeah. Like,
Shut up.
I guess
You're the worst.
how can this person be relatable to anybody? Like, you grow up with one of the
weirdest-
biggest movie star parents.
You
or
got
the
weirdo.
dad.
You got weirdo parents, and so you turned out like a weirdo, right? This is what happens when your mom and dad are crazy. You go to the Grammys with a castle on your head.
Yes, but
That's what happens. That's just science.
But also, he had no chance to grow up normal to begin with. Like, you're famous from the start, and then you have this bizarre life, right? That none of us we're all looking at like, oh, it's
But
just
I don't
weird.
think you
It's
have
like,
to put the castle on your head. I think you get addicted to that.
Oh yeah.
That's the dysfunction.
Yeah.
Like, you know that looks stupid, and
Yes.
you know that you're going to get trolled for it. But in some weird way, you're addicted to that hate. You're addicted to the people hating your castle hat. So you have to do it. You can't stop. There is no way, no free will. There is no way you were going to go to the Grammys and wear something normal. There's no way you would go there and just blend in.
You can make an argument, though, that it's smart by doing this stuff because it does get highlighted, and everybody else who didn't do it, like, it didn't get as much attention.
True.
So you're saying, like, all it took is to put this stupid castle on my head, and I get more attention than the other person just dressed in a tuxedo.
But guess what? But at the end of the day,
stupid.
But at the end of the day, you got a castle on your head.
No, I know. I don't know what it does because, okay, it's bringing more attention to you, but I don't even know what Jaden Smith is doing right now. Like, I don't know what he's promoting or what. Is he an actor or is he a musician of some sort? I have no idea.
He and his sister seem to, and somebody's going to probably correct me on this, but this is my opinion. I feel like Willow and Jaden Smith they hover above their parents' fame and just do kind of things. They're just a little art here, a movie here, a little acting there.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
never truly commit to that one thing and like kill it. They just kind of do. Like I'll do a single here. Now I'm into punk rock. Like Willow's into punk rock. Oh, now she's got a metal band. Or now she's a rapper. Oh, look, he's a rapper now. Oh, now he's an artist. Oh, now he's a skateboard. You know, they are always doing something a little like, and their parents like support it. I don't think they'll ever do that great thing. Like their dad is an actor. Their mom is an actress. She's a musician. I don't think Willow is the closest. She's like a musician, but.
Do you think it's because, okay, so obviously Will Smith,
weirdos.
as a young kid, he wanted to become a movie star, right? And he had that fire and the motivation and the drive to become a movie star. And once he was driven and probably obsessed with it until he got his first movie role, and that parlayed itself into other movie roles, blah, 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 right? So when you're already famous and your dad's famous, your mom's famous, your dad's a famous movie star, and you want to be in a movie, it's very easy for you to be in your first movie. I'm sure they both have or been in movies, multiple movies,
I know
right?
Jaden has.
Yeah, and it's like you didn't have to go through the same like hustle.
Didn't he do like some Karate Kid thing?
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
Remember he was on the set on Entertainment Tonight?
And so that's like you wanting to be in a movie, that itch gets scratched fast. So then it's almost like you've already accomplished it fast because of your dad and who you are. And then you're like, okay, well, now I want to do this. And so you're just like, you jump from things to thing. And like, you're not like Will Smith where he didn't have a famous dad. They got him in the movie. Like and then once, so
it does accelerate it for sure.
Yeah. And so I feel like these kids are famous people. They can jump around to a bunch of different things, almost ADD like, because it's like they don't dedicate themselves and their whole life to one thing. They don't need to.
They don't need to.
They could do a little bit of everything, right? Which is honestly kind of a more balanced life than just doing one thing. I guess you could make an argument that like you could do a bunch of different things just because of the position.
Okay, I will make that argument.
None of them will be good.
Even with the castle on his head, still less crazy than his dad.
Well, I've never even heard of what he, like the only.
No, but that's what I feel. That's how I feel. Like I feel like his dad is legit crazy. Even with the castle on his head, I go with what you're saying. He's still more well-adjusted than Will.
God, without the slap, would we have labeled them crazy as much?
People already were.
I know they were.
We already were.
But the slap
I'll
solidified it.
I'll throw myself in there. I already kind of thought, like, I was like, what's going on with this guy?
Yeah,
this guy's a little weird. He's a little weird.
Yeah. But the slap, I think, just he'll never get away from it.
It was a big deal last night that he presented on the Grammys.
I know people are because they'll never stop bringing it up. I mean, this is gonna haunt him forever.
I think he is legitimately banned from the Academy of Science, whatever the
Oscars.
the Oscars for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
No, yeah. So,
but the whole thing, just I don't know. The whole you're not doing yourself any favors if you're going to take to go back to the country, argument. I mean, you saw all these people like, oh man, look, all these white people are mad. To me, it had nothing to do with that. It really has everything to do with the integrity of the music style. It's kind of like when Jethro Tull won for best like heavy metal performance or something one year. If you guys are going to do crap like that, then don't expect us to care.
Yeah, you're almost like troll. Like it's almost done on purpose so that it brings on attention to the Grammys itself.
And it dilutes the award not only for Beyonce, because I'm sure she does really want. I mean, obviously, your husband doesn't make such a big deal the year before if you don't really want to win Album of the Year.
She put together a good album.
She did,
but Daniel will make the argument that it wasn't the best out of all the ones.
No. There are plenty
of
better albums there, and that's not even like I don't even think that's like whoa, that can be subjective. I'm like, no, if you take a slice across the board, I think it would be proven that these other albums were better country albums. But it just sucks because it takes, like I said, takes the award away from her. It takes the meaning away from it, and it makes all the awards kind of feel like a sham, like it's all garbage.
Well, speaking of music, real quick before we take a break, Crystal started watching '90s music videos on Vivo. And
oh my
then
God, she does what I do. I do this.
we were torturing Tommy and Max by making them watch it with us.
This is
because
what we do with
Yeah.
Maisie. She hates it.
She
thinks
oh
all the
yeah,
videos
yes,
are stupid.
yes,
I
yeah,
played
yeah.
the greatest videos of all time, like Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel. That is an
Oh.
award-winning video.
Dude, we went from Smells Like Teen Spirit, Black Hole Sun,
We've done this.
Sabotage, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Give It Away, and ended with Pearl Jam, Jeremy, which I'll tell you about. So they hated it all.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is what we used to watch. And
Yeah,
then,
I'm
we were
glad that you did this. I've done this to Maisie.
And then they were like, well, what's going on? I
The
don't
chat room
understand.
agrees. They do it to their kids.
Yes,
You got
okay,
it?
yeah.
Everybody do this to your friends, not even those that don't have kids. Just do it.
They did have valid points of why is the video like this?
Yeah.
What does it have to do with anything? And I'm like, no. Back in the 90s, they just made the videos crazy. They had nothing to do.
I'm sending you something from Maisie to Tommy and Max.
Yeah.
They hated the eyeballs in Black Hole Sun, did they not?
Oh, yeah.
Why are their eyes getting bigger and
Yeah,
crazier?
they're like, what does this have to do with anything?
What
And I'm
is
like,
the-
it's you don't understand. It's all
Yeah,
art.
why is the man with the top hat, his eyes get all big? What's he
Yeah.
What's he protesting? Maisie says. I was like, I don't know.
And then even Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're like they're just dressed like silver people.
Yes.
And then they're in a desert. Like, what does it have to do with the Give It Away?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it means nothing. It's crazy.
Maybe you'll be proud of this one. May brought up like, why are their guitars plugged in? That's a Tom. That's a Tom. That's a. I almost cursed. That is such a Tom thing to say. Like, you don't want to just listen to the music. That's one of my favorite bands, by the way.
So we were like, okay, just watch this last Pearl Jam, Jeremy. And at the end, he puts a Dirty Harry style revolver, giant revolver, in his mouth and blows his brains out in front of me.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I forgot too.
I forgot about that.
And
it's
then,
like when we forgot that Mel Gibson said the N-word.
yeah. And then my sons were like, oh my God. Then I was like, oh. And then
Why would you show them that?
Yeah, because I forgot that it came on. We were like, Jeremy's broken. And then
It's spoken, not broken. Jeremy's broken.
Whatever the hell. And then he blows his brain out, and the whole class is like, oh, blood. And I'm like,
I don't remember him blowing his brains out.
yeah. They don't show him blowing his brains out, but they show him putting a gigantic revolver in his mouth, and I'm like, oh my God.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I was like, the 90s, a different time.
It was a different time.
We were, I guess, fine with it, and all the 90s parents were fine
In
with
The
it.
Sopranos, there's a character who can't get excited unless he puts a gun in a woman's mouth. Like, it's a different time. You do. He has a gun in the mouth time.
We will be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. On Zoom with us right now for his monthly Bob Zany Report.
Yeah.
We have comedian Bob Zany. How you doing, Bob?
Hey guys, you like my backdrop right there?
That's good. I like that.
You know what it is? I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking when I go on your show, it's the eclipse of my career.
It's right at the.
I love that.
It's the green flash.
I think that's what you see, the last thing you see before it's all over.
Yeah.
By the way, I think it's called the Zany Report there, Tommy. But the Bob Zany Report would be, I appreciate that. But I really think we should call this feature, It's That Time of the Month with Bob Zany.
All right.
I like that. It's that time of the month with Bob Zany. Hold on. I'm gonna give that.
Why not?
I'm gonna
With
give
the
that.
Zany Report, we could do it that way, you know.
I
How
love
you
it.
guys been? Good?
Good.
Good.
Real good. Yourself? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here in Vegas. It's warming up this week. It's in the 70s, and you think, "Wow, that's great." It is. It's not that way. It's been very, very cold here.
So, Bob. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you about, you're in Vegas gearing up the Super Bowls this weekend. Does it get busier?
Yeah.
Or
Do you have to avoid certain areas or?
Well, yeah, usually my home. But you know what it is? It's interesting. I live in Henderson, so I have a great view of the Strip from my front door. I actually see the Sphere. So people who live in Vegas know to stay away from the Strip. That's where all the craziness happens.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And
You know, last time I was walking on the Strip, I got to tell you this story. I saw a penny face down, and to me, it's cash, so I'll pick it up. But this drunk homeless man saw the whole thing, and he said, "That's bad luck." And I said, "I guess you'd freaking know."
He would? Like you would?
Because I'm a people person. I love people, guys. Let's get right to it. I got a lot going on in the news here. A new study has found 1 out of 3 Americans are happy, and the other 2 out of 3 are grumpy and dopey.
I would be dopey.
7 drawers.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Dwarfs.
Got a couple sad notes for you guys. Here's a sad note. Bert, the huge crocodile who appeared in the 1986 movie Crocodile Dundee, has passed away at the age of 90.
Ooh.
Now, according to his agent, Bert was very bitter in his later years because he kept losing movie roles to younger crocodiles. It's a tough business, you guys. Even the animals have to worry.
It's true.
Here's another sad note. Police in Hawaii found a body in the wheel well of a 737 Boeing jet. Here's the sad part. The victim wasn't a stowaway, but in the 12th boarding group.
It's tough. It's a tough call.
You guys just don't fly as much as I do.
That's a tough call. Yeah.
And in Alabama, where I think Tom actually has a storage unit, in Alabama, a woman is recovering from receiving a kidney from a pig. Now, in lieu of well wishes and flowers, she's asking for lipstick.
I support that.
No. I'm so scared of everyone. I'm so scared.
I'm sorry. Do you guys have like a lipstick sponsor and I just ruined it?
No, it's fine. No. I love it. Keep going. This is fantastic.
Now, this is exciting. This is what we actually call the Zany Report time capsule. I go back in time and revisit a past Zany Report joke. Bear with me.
I love these.
Okay, it worked. This is from October 15th, 2019. Good news, bad news. Here's the bad news. Employers say millennials who bring their parents to an interview, it can actually be counterproductive. Now, the good news is your mom can explain what counterproductive means.
That's true. So true.
And there you have it. That's the Zany Report. By the way, bobzany.net's the website. You go there to click over the Dry Bar special. Right now at 8.6+ million views. You know, yesterday, 8,000. There's the Bob Zany punch card. You got it.
Yeah. I love it. This is, I have this right on my desk, man. Like, and you know, and I have so many.
Did I send you two?
Send another one.
Did I?
You sent me this one too. You sent me like a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then this one's great because like other comedians will see it and they all know you. Everyone knows you. Not one comedian who's been in here and doesn't know who Bob Zany is.
I would hope. I've done a lot in this business. You know, what I've tried to do is keep my career on the DL, and it's really worked out.
Yeah.
Have you made any enemies in comedy, Bob, over the past 30 years?
I'm sure I have. But you know what? It's interesting. I learned a long time ago. If I have a problem with somebody, usually everybody else have a problem with that person.
Right.
So then I don't take it too personally. But, you know, I don't go out of my way. I've helped a lot of people over the years. So, you know, you give, you get back. I always try to give and expect nothing in return. And boy, has that worked out.
When are we going to see you in person in Orlando? Are you heading this way?
I'm going to be at Porky's. Porky's is a great venue for comedy and barbecue. Finally, the two have met. Isn't that exciting? Here's comedy. Here's barbecue. Boom. I'm going to be there in November, the weekend before Thanksgiving. It seems to be a tradition now, or at least 2 years in a row. And they got some great shows coming up. Just ask Eric. Eric is always like calling you guys up, and I'm sure you're avoiding him like the plague.
Yeah, I mean we do. We try to avoid most. If people always want something from us, you know. Hey,
you know, when they don't want anything from you, that's when you know it's over.
That's true.
You're right.
Because then you have nothing to offer. Yeah,
it is. I've seen it whittled down.
You're no longer an asset. You're no longer a resource. You're a burden.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, hey, have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for the Zany Report, and we'll see you next month, okay?
I'll see you next month for that time of the month.
All right, we'll
with
see.
Bob Zany. I want to see a logo when I come back.
You got it. You got it. I'll have it ready for you and a theme song.
And that time of month with Bob Zany and the Zany Report. We got to get all. By the way, the Dry Bar special. Please go watch it. Go to YouTube. Leave me a comment that you actually saw me on the Dan and Tom show or the Tom and Dan show. I don't know who lost the bet.
Yeah.
But the point is, send me a comment and I'll write you back, okay? And like the special. Till next time. Bye, guys.
See you, Bob. See you, man. That is Bob Zany from
all right.
A lunatic screaming in his car somewhere in Las Vegas.
So,
we need
why
more.
Are you doing this?
Okay, hold on a second. Before you start yelling at me.
All right.
We need more old men zooming into this show. How could I get more old men zooming? I know you have a cold today and you're not feeling good,
Yeah.
But I thought a little Zany Report would cheer you up.
you
Some
know,
old jokes that you don't understand. I thought that would cheer you up. I like Bob.
do you know how much it hurts me inside? Like,
Yeah, because it forces you to laugh.
Well,
I don't laugh. I just make a comment afterwards. Like, he's right. I just say, do you notice? I don't laugh at him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, so true. I don't laugh at him. A little laugh. I'll give a little laugh. I also put the camera on him. Like, I'll do this. I'll put the camera on him. So there's Bob Zany talking. Then he'll say his punchline. And then you'll start laughing. And then I'll wait. I won't put the camera back on myself. I'll wait. Then I'll put the camera back on me. Then I'll put the camera back. That way people were like, did he laugh? He may have laughed.
So when someone, okay, when someone is telling a joke, all right, and I know, like, they're setting it up, they're telling it, I'm like, oh, it's coming. It's the same thing with the musical performances, right? So
I wrote a better joke with him for one of his jokes, and I wanted to yell it out, but I thought he'd get mad.
So, and then I know it's coming, and I'm like, oh, please be funny, like, or like, you know, and I'm so worried about being good, I don't even really, I'm not in the moment.
Yeah.
And then when he finishes it, I force myself to laugh uncomfortably. I'm sure, like, in the chat room and the listeners are laughing at me. They're like, oh, this is making Tom uncomfortable.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
What is making me uncomfortable?
There was a lot of that. Like, for me, like, when you get to the lipstick joke, right? He's like, a lady is recovering from the first, official transplant of a pig kidney. She got, or a pig liver. What was it? Pig kidney?
Yeah.
She's recovering from getting a pig kidney in lieu of, of thoughts and prayers. She is asked for people to donate a non-gross kidney. So I think that's funnier than lipstick. Because you'd have to know, like, lipstick on a pig, and that's an old phrase that I don't think everybody would know.
Yeah,
right?
Well, yeah, Bob's, he's from a time that this is pointed at.
It's like the old phrase that you're not going to pull the wool over my eyes. Is like you're putting lipstick on a pig, right? You're like trying to clean up something that's disgustingly horrible. I don't know.
It hurts me.
Well, we're doing it for. I signed a 1-year deal. All right. So you picked a weird time. How long? How many times have we done this? Once, twice. This is the second time. It's February.
No, well, technically we did it one time when we first had him on. Then you said, signed this year deal with him, and then he.
Well, I asked for the deal. He sent the deal over.
Yeah. And
I had Mo look at the deal.
Then ask the chat room. Are they getting some sort of pleasure out of this?
Okay, let me go back and see. We've got some people saying it's a zany world and we're just living in it.
Okay, all right.
The background reminds me of Superman endings where he smiles at the camera. EJ says Ross's new character is struggling. That's pretty funny. Bye, Bob. No real comments while he was on.
So, in one aspect, I will take any person that is trying to do comedy and not trying, but like doing comedy for us specifically.
Yeah, like I don't even think he was trying.
No. Right? It's like he's writing jokes and presenting them to us like, sorry, all right, we should take it. But in that fashion, in the like, hey, here's some jokes, one-liners, it's hard for me to be in the moment. I'm just like, it's coming, it's
I think it's hard via Zoom.
It is hard via Zoom. Yeah.
And it works better when you have a huge audience. The one-liners do because you, it's like you need more accomplices. When it's just like if he does that privately for another man, it's the most uncomfortable thing.
Yeah.
Right?
We need more
like
people
if you do
here.
One-liners for another man privately, that's the most uncomfortable thing you could
That's
do.
what is happening.
Yeah, and that
because
is,
you're out of it.
That is what's happening.
And he's looking at me, and I'm like, oh, I gotta laugh.
Yeah. And I turn to the computer. I'm just like, let me type something.
Let me look something talking up in the chat room, and then it's just me and Bob, and we're sitting here.
And it feels too intimate.
Yeah.
I'm glad we were able to break this down.
Yeah.
It's two men one-lining each other.
Well, I'm just sitting there
I think that's
frozen.
the gayest thing you can do to another man is to one-line him.
I'm just sitting here frozen, scared, and he's giving me one-liners. I'm like, oh my God, it's coming. It's happening.
Like leans into your ear, and he's like, "Take my word, please."
It's like, here's the joke. It's coming. I see it. And then he tells the punchline, and like I don't even understand, but I laugh.
But
out
most
loud.
people like that he keeps it. It's quick. He never
it
goes
is
over
quick.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I know it feels like 12, but he never goes over 5.
We need to have like a bunch of other old men in here to laugh at, his, like so it breaks up the awkwardness.
But naked old men. Let's make this place like an old sauna. Let's make this place like an old sauna.
We're gonna steam it up.
Yeah. You've been wanting a sauna. Let's make our studio a sauna and start doing the shows nude. We'll call it the Svets with Tom and Dad. Going for a Svets.
It's just a bunch of old naked men in
Isn't
here.
that what
We're
they call
naked.
it, a Svets? Isn't that
Yeah.
Hey, you
That's
go
like what is it called? A Svets?
a Svets. A Svets. Oh my God! It's like a donkey trying to whistle. You're out of your mind today. This cold is stealing your brain.
All right. We'll
Do
see.
we got to get out of here?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Right?
Oh yeah, we do. Hey, Bob, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
And we'll see you tomorrow.